Who are you? What is the real you? Are we living our lives according to what we are supposed to? Or are we living lives according to how people want us to live? Or the world expecting you to live in such a way, this way and that way? You have the right to have your own life, to live the way you want to live, provided there is no harm to others. This is very important. One has the right. Your dharma is to your own life, the way you want to live, provided there is no harm to others. Now this non-harming of others is ahimsa, but it cannot be compromised by not adhering to satya. That means if you need to speak the truth, then you need to speak the truth even though it is seen as violent or as a system of discontent. It doesn't matter, because truth overcomes everything. But the truth has to be based in ahimsa. A person who is practicing ahimsa is fearless, non-violent. There's a difference between fearlessness and non-violence. The person who is fearless and non-violent lives completely. There's nothing at all that can create any form of fear in them. They are absolutely balanced in their view of life. And according to the Shastras, these individuals live a full life. Everyone else dies every moment there is fear. One must be fearless. One must face his, her actions face to face. Whatever has been spoken or acted upon relentlessly comes back. And one must be fearless in seeing it in the face. At that time, if the action has been done without any form of awareness, the only way to dissolve that karma, and there is a way, and you have to have this awareness of that, and you need to experience it, because blind faith is not part of yoga. And you experience it, that when you do perform an activity which helps others and not at all you, that which is coming back to you as a reaction will dissolve right at your face through the grace of the universe. For those in Bhakti Yoga, it is the grace of Ishvara, the inner divinity. There are fundamental difference between the approach of yoga in self-realization and other spiritual practices. In yoga, it is an internal journey. The temple is you. You are the temple, and the divinity is inside you. The cleansing, the purification, everything is done to the body. This is the path of yoga. Yogis do this. This is why you hardly see them with external worship. The yogis, except those who are practicing Bhakti Yoga, and even at the highest level of Bhakti Yoga, they are absolutely in ecstasy inside. So that is what you are experiencing. Nothing wrong with the external. The only thing is, what is mentioned in the Shastras is that there must not be any wastage. Because this whole universe, this whole creation is to be utilized towards self-realization. Self-realization of yours and the self-realization of others. So every aspect of that path has to be consistent with your heart. That you don't want to waste, that you don't want to be violent, that you want to be brave and fearless and face the truth and face all your actions and reactions. And still, even if you think that you have trespassed, yet through the grace of the divinity, you will still be able to dissolve. Just like what you see in the story of Valmiki. Having done so much of bad actions, still forgiven, and up to now, still celebrated as the author of Ramayana. The author of Ramayana, Valmiki, was not a saint from the beginning. He was a dacoit. He was a bandit, involved in various crimes, but still, through the power of satsang, through the power of associating himself with the yogis, with the saints, with the rishis, he was able to transform and he was blessed. So the path of yoga is not condemnation to hell or heaven, because everything is seen here. There is an opportunity for rectification right here. So for that one can be absolutely fearless, because there's an opportunity. No matter what has happened in the past, right now there's an opportunity for transformation. Observe the point deep inside your heart. Just be still and relax. If you need to stretch out your legs or lean against the wall or lie down, up to you. Most important is that you need to relax effortlessly. The whole path of yoga is effortlessness. The way you live, the way you speak, the way you work, the way you are is effortless. You don't feel the burden, you feel light. Everything about you is natural. With nature, you are natural. Your nature is natural. You are in harmony with nature, you are harmony within. There is no effort. Effortless living. You pull, you bring forth. It comes to you. The whole universe is within you and it's with you all the time because of that effortlessness, that understanding, self-realization. So the path of yoga is not an easy path. It is the path for those who are absolutely fearless. The path where in this lifetime, right now, you are inclined to gain liberation. There is no ritualism. There is no ritualistic awareness here. There is no need for that. But those who are practicing rituals is all right, because we have in our own lifetimes practiced that. But eventually, everything has to be internalized. Gaining liberation. That we build this temple, this body, purify this temple, perform the worship inside. Truth has to be spoken, whether one likes it or not. As it is, without any makeup, without any PR, just as it is. This is Satya. This is a very important part of yogic consciousness. Accompanied with ahimsa, accompanied with aparigraha. That means all that is in this world that you say is yours is not seen with greed. That which is given to us is to be used for the liberation of self and others. So that everything that one does even can be seen as wrong from the eyes of others, but your intention, what is inside, your intention is sanctioned as absolute action, because all that you have, you are utilizing for the liberation of self and the self of others. So it is not a path of renunciation. What is this renunciation? It is rejecting that just to show the whole world that you are renunciate. You can be as you are. You, with your career, with your family, with your whatever that you have, but utilizing all that in the service of mankind. The service of mankind is the service towards liberating. So when you do something, you must re-evaluate, evaluate, and create an understanding that all actions do not equal good action. Good actions are those which go towards self-realization. If that action provides a platform for self-realization, that is considered right action. It is free from karma. So as we continue to be aware, to practice discrimination between what is real and that which is not real, that which brings eternal freedom and that which brings temporary joy and pleasure, you will be able to understand what action leads to eternal liberation. And the easiest, the one that does not require too much of strain in our system to find the truth, is that which is related to yoga, any form of yoga. Karma, jnana, bhakti, hatha, raja, any form of yoga is free from that reaction because it's towards self-realization. So purification is necessary, purification of the mind, chitta, through the practices. Without the practice, just speculating, reading books doesn't work. One has to practice. One has to wake up early and practice. One has to structure the awareness. There's just too many people around us who are pulling here and there, pulling us here and there. What is the result of that when we are yakking away? What is the result of that when we are with our friends and talking and talking and talking? What is the realization? That if you are going to talk and have company, then that must be from your side, that your influence there has to make certain corrections to their energies and their awareness. So that becomes satsang. Then you have an opportunity to practice karma yoga, that you being there is a satsang. Otherwise, strengthen yourself. Sit there and practice Nadi Sudhi. Practice Surya Namaskar. Practice the Shat Karmas. Day in and day out. Whenever there is an opportunity, then perform sadhana. Practice. That is right action. Continue to think. Continue to be aware. Continue to realize that time flies by very quickly. And before we know it, at a certain age, and I have students who come at a certain age and they are unable to perform because the body doesn't allow, and they become very frustrated. The body doesn't allow, the mind doesn't allow. At a certain point, when the mind becomes habituated to a certain types of habits, it will not allow them to even go into meditation because there has been 40 or 50 years of abuse and it's so difficult. But we have all been given such great grace that we are all young, that we are all able to. Then through these trainings, that at certain age, at the age of 70 or 80, when the mind and body is giving up for others, at that time Your body and mind is receptive to moksha because you have trained it. You have performed austerity, tapas. This tapas means here, practice of yoga. When everybody else is watching TV, everybody else is doing something else which is related to their temporary pleasure, you have put upon a certain higher percentage to find time for sadhana. So this is some form of meditation on jnana. This is knowledge, jnana. Reflecting, observing, understanding, reflecting internally. This becomes a mantra. Only a mantra has the force of conservation. Thoughts consume energy. Random thoughts consume more energy. Dissipated and distracted thoughts consume energy. Fear consumes more energy. Fancy thoughts consume more energy. Reflection on the truth provides energy because it becomes a mantra. When you think about liberation, it gives energy. When you practice inner dialogue to understand truth, it gives energy because it becomes a mantra. Mantra is not only chanting some special words, it is reflecting, becomes mantra. Reflection of truth becomes a mantra. When you bless people, when you think good about others, it becomes a mantra.